Nice music, man. That's okay.
You got both of them? Perfect.
Good to go.
Welcome to NWI with Becky and Pete.
Hey, hey.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. How are you? What's going on?
Oh, lots are going on. That's why everybody is here for the show. I'm
Nice jacket that matches the green in your dress.
I
That
might
looks
need
good.
to
I
turn
like
me
it.
down a little bit.
No, it's okay. You're
It's
fine.
a little slippery though because I don't have a pocket for this. Good day, NWI. It is April the 6th in the heart of the region.
Sunday, April the 6th,
Sunday fun day.
54 degrees, snow tomorrow.
Oh,
It's
is
coming.
it? I didn't even look
So
at the
put your
weather.
Corvettes away. Don't
Ooh,
have them out
yeah,
tomorrow.
Those rays here.
Yeah, right?
So in the heart of the region, 80, 94, 65, right on Lake Michigan. Welcome everybody. Remember, Becky's is behind the scenes, and your two are doing what here, Pete?
We're Facebook Live, so log into Facebook Live. One's going straight to YouTube also, so watch this
And
out there
YouTube.
also.
And then
Yeah.
during the week, we share.
Yeah,
So all the
every day.
groups, we go onto Spotify, Tubi, working really hard on the cable with my favorite Lakeshore Public Media cable on TV and radio.
We need an app. People watch apps, right?
Hey,
Everyone has
that's a
apps
great
on their
idea.
TVs, and you click on the app, and wow.
That's
Instead of
a-
paying $280 a month to
Yeah.
Comcast for cable, you have a free app, right? Something to think about.
We also played around with some ideas. So we have an hour, but sometimes we do half an hour with the behind the scenes and prizes and special content for those that you can do the Zoom link.
Yep.
And then you can Zell. That's not come around as much because I think we're still in the phase where we just want people to be on,
Yeah.
right?
And watch what's going on, right?
But they can still like, share, and give, right? I've got us on giving stars. You can give us stars.
Yeah, it's a 5-star rating, just like Google, right? That means you're the general, right? 5 stars. That's,
Although I tested it out, and David was like, you have to get to like 1,000 to get any kind of funding because right now we do this as a labor of love. So Becky Matea with Vision Quest and Angels Honor Guard that my daughter started with a nonprofit to protect girls, and then you're with
I work for CAASH.
and your other little fun charity.
I like Cash for Charities. They raise a lot of money and give a lot of money away every year to a lot of people. It's a bunch of retired school teachers from Clark High School. They started 7 years ago, and I promote it all the time. They're fantastic.
So
Really
thanks for being with us. We are usually weekly, sometimes monthly, because of my hip is being replaced very soon. So whether I'm here or not, just tune in. But you can. This is how I tell people, like, how do we find you? I'm like, I talk to my phone. I just go, Good Day NWI with Becky and Pete, and about 100 come up, and you pick your favorite, whether it's YouTube. Some people like us on. I think David's got us on Patreon. I saw that there. Twitter, Instagram.
Or subscribe to YouTube. It's free.
What's the one that you, the one that's is 75-day extension?
TikTok.
People like the TikTok too,
Yeah.
right? So depending who's here at the studio determines where it's being seen.
And that's TikTok. They say 75 days out. They're not going to look. They're going to make a deal. They're going to buy it, and it's not going to go away. So.
Well, let's talk about, before we get into the details of just our regular show lineup, but we do have special guests, and we want to thank all the people behind the scenes that help us, our families and friends. Who do you say our number one fan is?
Your mom.
Yeah, Grandma Sue.
Yeah.
Thank you for being there and telling us all the
Best
pointers.
critic, too. Yeah, for sure.
Constructive
The
criticism.
truth never
Those
hurts,
little
right?
snowbacks.
Yeah, it's okay.
But our special guests, I want to mention them because they also were helping with the production and the directing tonight. Ray Kaczynski and his son CAASH with Ace Catering, right? And they brought us food, so we're going to talk all about that. I can smell it upstairs. But I've known him for a long time, and I'm like, we'd be somewhere like at Pierogi Drop, and I'm like, I just had like the best haluki. It was right. I didn't even know that.
At the
He's like,
KFC hall?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then you're gonna start with, after we go through our usual, with Jeff Robertson, and he has a friend Judy, but he's gonna come up and tell us how you met him.
In the summertime at someone's house in Crown Point, right? Is there a
Yeah, we were in Wanata.
Yeah, Wanata.
And relationship matters, and you said you had a really nice conversation. So
Great
he's
advice.
gonna talk to us.
Let me tell you.
I've been going to a class called Relationship Matters, and he taught the people who are running that. And it's not just about marriage, it's about children, parents, and others about how we need to speak. Although, you know, the people that I mentioned really know how to kind of push our buttons, so I really have to like breathe when I'm around them. I love them, but you know, something that they had mentioned, when you are close as a family or beyond that, and you're in the same vicinities or in the same place, it's easier to step on people's toes, and that's why it's a little bit more harsh.
And you always step on people's toes that you care about the most because you don't think twice about it. And I know it's not
But I'm
right.
just thinking at work, isn't that kind of like, is that like 100 people in there?
You need 100 personalities too. That's crazy.
So it takes, I mean, you're the boss there, aren't you?
Yeah, but let me tell you,
I
they don't care.
But, I mean, it's a hard thing, it's like
The
coaching.
younger the generation, the harder it is to deal with. That's
Okay.
what I'm finding out.
But we know, we have a Gen, is he a Gen Z? CAASH is Gen Z?
Yeah.
Gen Z, and he seems very nice, so I think it depends. But talking about coaching and keeping people organized and teaching, have you been watching the basketball, Pete? Have you been catching any? So the girls were on
If
today,
it doesn't have a steering wheel, I'm not watching it.
but you kind of know, the
Yeah,
girls,
I have
the
an
girls
idea.
NCAA Division I was on, and UConn won, and they won by big, and because he has a methodology, he started, that coach started from just, you know, a very small school and built it up. So there are certain things to be successful. Did anybody watch the Duke game, the Duke-Houston game yesterday? I caught that after a long day. That was fantastic. So the championship is tomorrow between Florida and Duke.
I thought Florida made it, right?
Yeah, they're one of the two.
Got it.
Yep, so who are you guys picking? Who you got? Florida or Houston?
Houston.
Jeff?
Same,
Because Duke lost, right?
same.
Yeah, Duke lost. I couldn't believe it. I'm gonna go with Florida. I'm gonna go with Florida. I like Florida. You just got back from Florida, Ray?
Well, who else is up there? Who else has a
It's the
chance?
last two. We're down to the final two.
Oh, okay.
It's the national championship
Got it.
tomorrow.
I had no idea. I heard yesterday on the radio Florida won. I'm like, oh, great.
We wanted Purdue. Purdue almost beat Houston. They're a very good team. And Duke was ahead. And when I saw Duke, I'm like, they're going to probably win it. But they were ahead the whole game. And then something just, the momentum switched. And then it was stifling defense. If you really want to know, someone said, they couldn't get the ball in. I'm like, have you ever tried to get the ball in? You know, with all those defenders, it's like 10 regular defenders.
Getting
I
attacked.
know, because I said I was in the Hall of Fame, and I really impressed CAASH with that. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I can still shoot. I don't run that good anymore because of my hip, but I can still shoot.
It's okay. You'll be like the bionic woman in about 2 weeks once it's replaced, right?
Well,
No problem.
I don't know. I know you keep saying that, but I'm taking the month off just
And they'll give you another
FYI.
50-year guarantee. You'll be fine.
I think they only last about 10, but okay. I did talk to my doctor, and I'm like, what if we did the live surgery? We'd get a lot of viewers.
I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't
Here,
want to watch it.
the
or know
liability
about
from
it.
the hospital would be huge. They mess up.
But isn't it on YouTube? Aren't these
I
on
don't know.
YouTube somewhere? Like a hip replacement?
I'm sure there is. I'm sure, but I'm sure the hospital did it. And
Okay.
something that, as long as they did nothing wrong, they'll show it, right? But
I just can't believe that people could live without doing this. I mean, this is pretty new. I mean, we've only been doing it about maybe 30, 40 years, but I remember all these folks hobbling when they, like my grandfather.
I met a guy the other day in my mom's building in the elevator. He's had 2 hip replacements and he's 50 years old. 50. That's not old.
Yeah, sometimes it's a genetic and then
Right.
your activity and genetic activity and yeah, there's a bunch of factors in there and disease you
Who
might
knows
have.
what happened? Who knows?
Disease you might have. Okay, so typically we start with food, fashion, weather, and traffic.
Traffic is horrible. I drove from Palatine today back and forth a couple times. It took forever to get there and it's only 41 miles. Forever to get there and come back.
Well, we have you have Waze, right?
Yeah,
And I like 555in.org because it tells you the red light cameras.
but Waze tells you when there's cops all over the place.
That's a good idea.
It is, but I still get pulled
Slow
over
down.
because of the way I drive.
Okay.
And,
Construction?
and in
Is it on
Illinois,
your construction?
tons of it, especially
but
this
does
time of the year.
Waze
It
tell
does.
you?
Tells you
Okay.
everything. Yeah.
Because I like to know that too.
Tells you the shortcuts, how to get around it, where else to go. It does,
So,
for sure.
so there is, and that season is coming up, construction's coming up.
Started.
So 80, 94,
Mhm.
but there's accidents, so I would just really recommend people stay focused on the road because there's so many distractions.
And you notice all the signs on above that says, stay off your cell phone and watch the road as you're driving.
You
signs
really,
they put
you
on the
really should.
expressway.
And then I was
Yeah.
gonna mention, like, not so much when I was growing up, but you had the kids, because I don't think we traveled much. I mean, the world has gotten much more
Yeah, we can travel.
easy
We can
to
go
travel. But I had the kids in the back seat, and so I'm like, you know, they're doing things, and you have to like watch that, and then you got the deer across the roads, and you got the rain coming down. I'm just like, I'd probably just stay home and do a Zoom.
anywhere.
Who would have thought, right? So weather, so that was traffic in the area, weather. You said you looked, I didn't.
50-something degrees and snow tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
For April,
Really?
right. Yeah, tomorrow, it's
Okay.
supposed to snow, tomorrow morning.
All right, so it's April now.
It's
April
crazy.
showers bring May flowers.
Well, we're gonna have April snow, so you gotta shovel tomorrow, or whatever.
So this is more of a fall dress, but it was easy to put on. This is reminding me of my backyard. Like my backyard is just a mess. You know, it's got mud, it's got greenery, it's got a tree that fell because of the tornado. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know if we had the tornado, but the winds came through.
It did hit that area.
Yeah, but not as
Yeah.
bad, like, Valpo was worse, I'm in Chesterton, but I just thought, you know, this is, you know, just perfect. And I'm going to JCPenney a lot, this is from Penny's, and this is from Ann Taylor from college.
Where's your JCPenney, where?
Maryville Mall,
Oh, really?
and I think Valpo has one, and then we have the outlet mall up by Michigan City, you like,
I'm a big online shopper,
I know.
major,
I think girls like to try stuff on though. Okay, so you get,
Men's Warehouse, I like going there a lot,
Okay, and
or
then-
online.
you like Amazon, but you don't get this from Amazon, do you?
No, Men's Warehouse, I go to Calvin Klein and buy,
And they'll ship this to you?
no, you have to go in, I go to
Oh,
the
okay.
window.
Oh, Maryville, and then
Yeah.
you kind of go downtown sometimes
A
too.
lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
So, but I know
To
my
Nordstrom, I
kids,
shop at Nordstrom a lot.
my kids like Amazon. I still can't get past that. Like, I'll just do it because I don't want to trouble anybody else. And the Amazon guy comes down the street and he goes, "I'm delivering to everybody here today, Becky. So don't feel bad."
I'm addicted to this Amazon thing, I buy every day two or
But I
three
feel like
things.
I'm putting the small mom and pops out of business.
Not at all.
Mentioning mom and pops. I was there all day yesterday at, I guess we're calling it the Hub. We've been talking
In
about
Whiting,
it.
at
Yeah.
119th
We're
Street.
gonna have some baked goods in the front. It's the old P&H next to Debbie's Dress Shop. People know
It's
that.
across street from White Castle, everybody knows where White Castle is,
White
119th and Boulevard.
Carrera's, McDonald's, my
Yeah.
church. So we're gonna have some baked goods on Sundays. I think you guys might be coming in with like some transactions. We've got a techie guy that does like economic development, and then the back space is still available. So, but it's kind of cool. I think we're gonna have a sign out the front. We're gonna be out there for Garage Mahal in Whiting. They have like a citywide,
What is it?
sale, like a rummage sale. Garage Mahal is what they call it. I'm gonna give a shout out to Gail Casalco. I'm pretty sure she coined that. She was one of our chamber directors.
She came up with a lot of great ideas for
Yeah,
Whiting.
yeah, and then even
Lots and lots and lots.
Peggy Berryman, I remember being little with Frontier Days and then transitioning into pierogi because we're like, we really like this food. So once again, you know, Ray's got the food, I can smell it upstairs. He'll be on in the second half, Jeff will be on in the first half. Food, fashion, weather, traffic, did we do that? Oh yeah,
Yep.
food's coming.
Yeah.
We're gonna go around and we're gonna name all the cities and you're gonna help us around the region. We start in Lake County, go to Porter and then LaPorte, and we do those, are there 3 counties? And then we do those 4 others. You're from North Newton, so what counties are down there? Stark, Newton, Jasper,
Yeah,
Kosciuszko? Okay, perfect.
What's the largest county in Indiana, Northwest Indiana, what is it? Is it Lake County?
I don't know about like the area,
Most
but
populated?
the most populated would probably be the Lake County, and it's growing as well as Porter, and then I think I saw the ports shrinking, but you know, we're getting a lot of folks from Illinois, so.
Moving to Lake County,
So I'm Whiting, you're kind of Robertsdale and
yeah,
Hammond,
correct.
East Chicago,
Yeah.
then from there, where are we at?
Well, after East Chicago, this direction is Highland, Munster, Griffith,
Griffith.
we always forget to say Griffith,
Yeah,
Gary, Indiana,
yeah,
and then
south of us is the Tri-Cities,
Cedar Lake,
well,
right? Kind of.
that's beyond that, but then we have, where's your hub? You like
Dyer.
Dyer,
Dyer.
Sherrville.
Oh, that's right,
There's
Maryville,
one more, St. John.
Yeah.
Cedar Lake's farther, Lowell, I don't know, there's another.
this direction.
Schneider, oh, that's a new one.
Schneider,
Schneider's a new little one, yeah,
what is that by?
Maryville, down south.
Past Lowell.
Got
Yeah.
it, got it.
So we moved over to Maryville, and then.
Burns Harbor, I always think of Burns Harbor,
So, yeah,
That's that
Gary,
direction.
Maryville,
Yeah.
Crown
Over.
Point, those are all still in Lake
all
County.
these little towns, right, all over
Then
the place
Porter
in
County,
Indiana.
Chesterton, Valpo, Burns Harbor, Lake Station, I just talked to a guy from over there with land for sale. We're gonna try to help all these folks, I would say I'm like a connector, a creator, and a coach. And then LaPorte, Jeff, you're from,
Valpo.
You came from Valpo?
Yeah.
And then over to LaPorte is LaPorte, Michigan City, Westville, New Carlisle, anybody else that?
And it
you
goes
remember?
on and on and on and on and on and on
But
and on.
that's why we want all of you guys, so if you wanna take a peek, then you can come right on, Jeff. Look at this camera right here on my phone and see who's on there. We're gonna give you a prize. Bobby Elliott was on first, so I think I might give it to him. If you go behind and look at the camera, you'll see people's names. Any, recognize anybody?
Just yours.
She's our biggest fan.
Well, actually, I think it's kind of scrolled away, so you can hop on over here. This is Jeff Robertson. He's been helping. He's the one with the beautiful voice. Yeah, we have quite a few people. You can invite them. And then that's on mine. These two probably won't show it, but on mine, because I'm behind the scenes, you can see all of that. Sometimes on Good Day, not on YouTube though, it won't show right now. But we name all those cities because we've got people watching. If you have anything that you want to relay to us, please go ahead and comment, message, come on the show, right?
Fundraisers especially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you invite them to come on. We
And
have
they come on.
a great studio audience that we're gonna be inviting in some great food.
Actually, last time we had a studio audience, when we had a live chef upstairs, we recorded the whole thing in the kitchen, it was awesome.
I'm gonna step
That was
off for
fun.
a minute. You're gonna
That was
talk
fun.
to Jeff. So we've gone in, we gave the, we talked a little bit about the sports, but you and Jeff.
Well,
you
the
talked-
Final Four is now called the Final Two.
Well, yeah, the Final Four went to the Final Two, the championship game, yes.
Yeah.
Are you watching any sports right now?
Yeah, I watch basketball.
Okay, we can talk about this and I'll hop off and you can talk to Jeff. So that, I also saw that Alex Ovechkin, I only know Wayne Gretzky, but apparently he tied his goal record. Does anybody know what it is? I like this kid already.
I don't know the exact number,
It's
but
1,000 something, isn't it?
yeah, I think he actually passed it now.
Oh, well, yeah, he's still playing.
Yeah.
So that's quite the accomplishment. Do you watch hockey?
No. There's no steering wheel in hockey.
There's no what?
Steering wheel. If I had the steering
Oh,
wheel, I
okay.
want
Well, we're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah.
Well, talking about that, is NASCAR going on? I know
July.
the Derby's coming up,
That's in July.
and then they have those street races too with the Indy cars.
Downtown Chicago.
Okay,
It's July.
all right, that's July. I know
Mhm.
NASCAR goes on all over.
Mhm.
Soccer's happening, that's like probably the biggest sport in
It
the
is,
world.
it is.
Also want to mention there was a proposal, once again, by Earl Harris. It popped up because the Bears are still debating about the field,
Of going back and forth, yeah.
and they're thinking about Arlington Heights. I'm like, bring it to Northwest Indiana.
They're never gonna leave Chicago, is my opinion. They're
Okay.
gonna stay right where they're at.
Okay.
They're gonna get their TIF money and everything they need to stay in Chicago.
All right, well, Earl Harris from our legislature has proposed a sports commission to lure someone here in some official sport. I said, let's do a C basketball team or a girls softball team. I mean, those are all pretty fun and likable, and it could be money
They would wanna,
generating if you did it right.
yeah, they would wanna bring someone in that, you're right, that's gonna generate the income they're looking for.
I don't know, bowling.
sure.
I know people watch that too. Right now in the local high school, track has been going strong. I saw that, and we've got some really fast kids. CAASH, you know any fast kids?
Girlfriend,
Are you on any sports?
I play baseball.
Perfect. So
football, basketball.
baseball. I mean, you're tall. Wow. Yeah, good. We had what high school do you go to?
North Newton.
North Newton. Okay. So softball, that baseball's going on. I watch a lot of softball because my daughter played, but they were saying, why don't we move softball to the fall because they can't get the games, and not at least up here, not in the high school because everything's underwater. So I said, let's put in a dome. We got Sparta Dome in Crown Point. I want to put one up. It's Fieldhouse Dome. I know Hammond's doing well with theirs. They do volleyball in there. They've talked about it in Portage, so I'm planting that seed right now. So we have a meeting if you guys, you're too far south, but all my folks watching up north, that's what we want to do because we want people to be able to walk in it, kids to play in it, and have big rallies in it, and not in Whiting. So that's my little plug.
Well, they have the good area for it, that's for sure, build it right on the lake, that'd be great.
Well, that's pretty prime. I think they're going to put housing there, but there is property.
On the lake, they're
Yeah.
building condos, right?
Well, we're talking about that too. Don has been proposing mixed usage instead of single family. It's public now, so I can talk about it. Maybe a boutique hotel, some condos, and a stadium district,
They
which
should.
includes where my mom's
It's
at.
a great area,
So
they should.
I'm like, I don't think we're gonna do anything right now, but maybe eventually. So that, sports, we love our sports. We also, the pets. We haven't had one for a while. I did contact the cat lady, but what are the three things that we say about our pets?
The cat lady. Well, they're, like I told someone today, we're talking about pets, I said they're always happy when they see you, right? Every
They're
single
the thing
time.
that likes you
Yes.
more than
Yeah.
themselves.
Absolutely.
But we say,
Yeah.
adopt, visit, and what's
Neuter.
the final, what was it?
Neuter.
Neuter and spay.
Yeah,
Because there's so many of them out there
Yeah.
and we can't take care of them. They're all the shelters are full.
so I was with a lot of my cousins saying, and they're saying, oh, you have dogs? When do you have time for dogs? I said, can I tell you something? They're the only ones glad to see me every night.
Yeah.
It's glad. Oh, I mean, it's fantastic.
Nice.
And they all start laughing, they're
Yeah.
like, I guess you're right about that, that's true.
So if you have any questions about anything, just make sure you do message us and we can try to get you connected. We're going to talk about what's coming up in the next couple of weeks as well. So stick around for that. After, okay, I'm gonna look at that clock because my eyes aren't that good. 7:22. Once again,
You
it's
see that
Becky
perfect now,
and
right, with the
Pete.
white letters in the back?
Contains OUI. We're gonna go into a little segment here with Jeff and Pete. I'm gonna step off and just make sure everything is okay. And there was something else I did want to mention when we were talking about. They'll come back to me. So Jeff Robinson, Relationship Matters, and Pete Panos. There you go.
So I know that's what you do, we talked about it several times, you gave me some great advice before a ex-wife's party. I don't forget that was last July and that took place in August. And I know now you have a class at a church, right?
Well, we have a number of different things. Relationship Matters meets Wednesday night in a church right off of 49 and 6. And they have as many as 100 people there, many couples.
Now you came to Highland a couple times too, right, the church in Highland?
Right.
I remember that because I know she goes to this. So who scheduled this? How do people find out? How do you draw your crowds?
Well, Relationship Matters has a Facebook page, for one thing. They can contact me as well. I work with Agape Biblical Counseling Centers, but you can Google Jeff Robertson of Valpo and I'll connect you with them as well. But they have an ongoing ministry where they've been working for many years, helping couples, individuals, a lot of divorce busting, a lot of couple enrichment, different DVDs and videos, and sharing testimonies. And many people make a lot of friends there.
Are you doing one-on-ones with kids and adults who need it also?
Primarily couples there and a group setting. And then they refer people to me to work with them individually and with couples.
How'd you get started doing this? What was it? What sparked and you said, you know what? This is what I gotta do. Because we all have our drive.
Well, I actually was a jazz major at Hobart.
Really?
Our jazz band was number 8 in the nation at the New Orleans National Festival, and I did jazz trumpet solos. And I went to Indiana University and heard a fellow named Josh McDowell with Campus Crusade for Christ, and it changed my life, rededicated my life to Christ, and I took a career test, and it said pastor, counselor, and attorney, and that's what I do.
Wow. But you're doing that already, and the test just verified what you should have been doing. Is that correct?
No, I was actually in trumpet and that. I
really?
wasn't doing any of that. I had talked with some kids growing up and things, but I did not make it a career. But then I went from there. I changed my major from jazz to psychology and religion, and I worked at Dyer Inpatient Psychiatric Hospital. And then I really felt God calling me, and I went to the Billy Graham Center, Wheaton College, got my master's,
Wow.
and now I'm a licensed social worker. I'm a guardian ad litem, which is a child advocate. I advise judges regarding divorce kids.
Very familiar with that. So how many years have you been doing this?
About 44.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
You don't look old enough to be doing this for 44 years.
listen, you know.
I'm not kidding.
The advantage with us as a guardian ad litem, and in California and Arizona, they require it to be a licensed counselor. Not so in the region. But the advantage with working with a licensed counselor is I'm paid by medical health insurance and rather than another attorney bill.
Now, when I went through my divorce, they assigned a guardian ad litem,
Yes.
which I had to pay for.
Yes.
So you're right. I didn't know
didn't
the
get a
insurance
choice.
to pay. Right. I didn't. Right. And it was the best thing that ever happened. If it wasn't for that, it would have been disastrous.
Because they're the mediator.
Yes, it saved everything.
There you go.
It did.
There you go.
It was remarkable. I'll never forget about it. Now I got to ask: is there, after all these 44 years, is there a wow moment or a moment you have with someone that you would never forget?
I think,
Maybe a counseling session or a one-on-one or something that happened. You're like, wow.
yes, I had a couple that I worked with, a pastor and his wife out of River Oaks, out of the area over there. And the wife admitted, she said, I ran the choir and had an affair with a man in the choir and gave my husband, the pastor, an STD. And I mean, it just blew the whole church apart.
Oh, wow.
And I was talking with them, and of course he's upset. And then they sort of fall off the face of the earth. And then, about a year later, I'm at a Promise Keepers rally in Atlanta. I heard Max Lucado speak and different things. I'm walking around the bookstore, and there they were sitting there. They had become missionaries in New Mexico. And they said God had just resurrected their relationship, and they had a new ministry. and God can do anything. If he
Oh,
made
I
dead
love
bones
that.
dance, he can make people change.
You're right. Now, how long ago was that?
That was like 5 years ago.
Wow. Because then we all have that moment of what we do for our careers.
Yeah.
Or whatever in your life that you'll never forget. Someone that made an impact that's changed you a little bit.
Yeah. When I was a child, I had a rough home situation, and next door was I adopted as my own godmother. And she took me to church, and I'm sitting in the back pew. In fact, I'm laying down taking a nap, and I'm listening to the pastor, thinking, that could be the case. This could be okay. And then the pastor said, if you'll give God a chance, walk forward. So I jumped up, and I went forward, and felt like 200 hands.
So
all
with
over
that,
me.
I'm coming back on, because we
There you
got
go.
lots going on, but you know what I wanted to introduce to you guys? You know how I met Jeff?
No.
Is from the show Beautiful. He's a thespian too, with the great voice.
Oh, really?
So we're gonna have you
Oh, I didn't
sing
know
us
that.
off tonight, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yes, and so I was
So
thinking.
you were in that show?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
What's your character?
Well, I was the record producer who worked with Carole King and also represented the Beach Boys and Mamas and Papas. And he sat courtside with Jack Nicholson for the Lakers. So just a musical genius guy, and that's what he did.
He's a very multi-talented man. So we're gonna have you hop back off, and then we're gonna talk a little bit more. Then Ray and Cash are gonna be on. Gosh, that's such a cool name. Okay, thank you so much, Jeff. And how do people get a hold of you? Facebook is the best?
Google Jeff Robertson in Valpo.
Okay, perfect. And you can help people because it's purpose, not just happiness. Everybody thinks they need to be happy, but it's really about purpose. So that'll bring your happiness from the blessings that we have. We're going to move into trending stories. Is any of those tickling your fancy?
Yeah, the Subway adding nachos.
Yeah, that's out of all those, that's your favorite?
Here, I love nachos. Yeah, yeah. That
Okay.
it is.
Nacho. Okay, so
As
Subway's
crazy as
adding
that
the
sounds.
nachos.
Really?
Okay, so they do have chips, but I guess these are nachos. And I did go there this weekend. I did
Did
go.
they have them ready?
I did not see them. I'm trying to get comfortable here. I just saw chips. I got a meatball sandwich with lots of veggies on it. I like that. Because I went to the White Castle and somebody had ordered 30 sliders and they're like, you gotta wait 10 minutes. I'm like, I can't wait any
Yeah,
longer.
it's longer than 10 minutes.
I also mentioned that there's a bunch of meetings, so can you guys turn off the mics, please?
It's not that
Oh,
big,
okay.
but you-
Okay, and meetings. So I've gone to meetings and there's a whole week of meetings. So we have the Zoom meeting, we have the RDA meeting, we have the airport meeting. Also, Mr. Braun was in town. So did you guys, I just wanna make sure you guys switched, you have all of your stuff? Okay, very good. And then if you're not on, then you turn the mics down. Thank you.
He's in town for what?
One moment, please. Can you have them turn their mics off, please? Thank you. Meetings. Governor Braun was in town. He's traveling the 92 counties. So we're gonna have his assistant, I asked him if he wouldn't mind coming on and telling us all about the state of Indiana.
What's he promoting?
I think he's just getting to know everybody as the governor. And probably the agenda of the president is kind of what I heard. That's when I tuned
You
him
said they're
out.
trying to, going on a
The
new-
tariffs, so
on a-
did you want to talk about tariffs?
Yeah, on a new proposal,
Mhm.
Grom is trying to lower the property taxes for residents of Indiana, again.
Yeah, and I think we had said
I
that.
think it's gonna pass.
So it's good for homeowners, but I don't know what the rest of the folks are gonna do. I think there's a shortfall, so they're gonna have to make up. But no matter what happens, we are paying somehow, some way. And then didn't you want to talk about tariffs?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
We know what's going on, everyone's gonna get tariffed to death, everything's gonna go up. Do we agree with it? Probably not, but I guess you gotta write it out to see what happens in the long run. I personally think he's playing poker with all these countries who've been taking advantage of the United States and over-tariffing us. We've been paying billions of dollars and we've been collecting nothing. So I think before this is all said and done, I don't think it's gonna be a horrible thing. I think they're gonna back off and cut the tariffs. A few countries already agreed to cut the tariffs off the United States.
Yeah, I haven't
Here,
studied it
I'm in the
yet.
car business. We got notification 3 days ago and we're gonna get hit with this. So to make a long story short, it's gonna be, we're gonna get hit with 10%. So a $25,000 car is not gonna be $29,000. And that's not profit, that's just a tax that's getting added
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I hope it doesn't go through, and I hope it, because it's gonna affect a lot of people, and I know a lot of people are very worried and nervous about what's gonna happen with this, because this can create a hardship that they cannot afford to pay.
I do think we do have to look, within ourselves to be sustaining, but not to offend others. And something popped up, and I didn't even look for it. And I don't know if I was probably falling asleep. I don't think I was dreaming, but somebody had tried this before, and I thought they had said during one of the Bush administrations, and it actually made it worse. And it was a gentleman. Remember the gentleman who was on with our politics?
I do.
Oh, he was an economist with a Boston accent, because I think they
The
said
guy
he
from
went to
Notre
Harvard.
Dame, or the attorney, right?
No, that's a different gentleman. It was when we were, but anyway, the point was that this had happened before, and it got worse. So anyway,
They're saying it's gonna be rough for a while. It's gonna cost each household approximately $300 a month in the beginning. I know the stock market has crashed. Everything is
yeah, that's
starting to go in the
unfortunate,
wrong
because I thought he
direction.
said day one everything was gonna be great.
Well,
Okay, anyway, enough of that, because I'm getting too warm.
we'll see.
Okay, so we did an interview with Governor Braun. We're seeing how we want to release that, as well as I had mentioned the times. We were having conversations with them to maybe share some information, because, I was at the Commander, and
In Munster?
Lori said she watched you walking on Facebook. So you're still inspiring because of the fitness, so we want to bring that to the forefront too, because without your health, it's really hard to do
Yeah.
anything.
What I do, I make videos. I walk, I know this is nuts. Every night approximately, if the weather is halfway decent, at midnight I'll do 5 miles. And I make videos, and I have people who log on, and wherever they live, whatever, some of them go and walk also. They tell me that you're very inspiring, we look
Yeah.
forward to do, and it's been unbelievable. And I just started doing it just to be goofy. At midnight I have nothing to do because I'm still wired after leaving
So
the
you
car
can watch
dealership.
Pete or Becky, Good Day NWI, you can be on any of the platforms.
That's how we got connected 2 years
Oh,
ago from
that's
this
how I
walking
saw
video.
you, yeah. I'm
She
like,
calls me up, I said, Becky who? Oh yeah, I remember
Pete's
her.
a thespian, he'll come on.
Yeah.
Likes theater, that's why this looks all so professional, and I do a lot of the producing. But I was gonna let you know, if you guys wanna get ready, and if you guys wanna go into the theater room, you can. If you wanna watch in there, you can do that as well. Okay, so another trending story. There's a lot of development around Crown Point off 65. They're building these large buildings and they're being leased. I think that's Amazon.
I don't know.
Ice cream I saw was in there.
Remember where the Star Plaza used to be and all the hotels over
Yeah, I'm
there?
hoping
What
somebody.
are they building there,
I'm
anything?
hoping, I was hoping that the convention center was gonna go in there.
Oh, they're gonna build it next to the casino.
They're still, but it's looking like that, they're buying, but yeah, it's looking like that one.
What is that gonna cost?
Hobart's their, competitor, I don't know, the commissioners are still deciding that. Probably quite a bit, yeah, because when I went by the 8094, there was signage for the upcoming shows, and I hope someday that we could actually, and the next week's show, Tom Dockich asked to be on, and I thought maybe that would be a good place with the South Shore. And then the following week, we have Dr. App. That's her last name, APP.
App.
So, and Cash, can you close the door, please?
Dr. App.
Yes, so she's gonna be on, and then that's Easter, and then, the end of the month, I think, is probably when I have the surgery, so we'll see what happens in May. But I've got my chefs ready to go here. You guys can come on up, I think that was our we'll talk about that coming up, because I think you're probably a fan too. We're around the same age, aren't we?
I
What
think
year did
so.
you graduate
He's
from?
39, are you 39?
What year did you graduate from,
Well, I turned 39 11 years in a row now.
I gotcha, yeah.
what high school did you go to?
St. Francis de Sales,
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
East
what
side.
year?
92.
Okay, so you're a little younger, but you would know this guy, and I wanted to talk about that because he was quite the actor, Val Kilmer.
Oh, yeah.
He passed away.
Really?
You didn't know that this
No.
weekend? It's been big news. So I Googled, and he's been in a lot of different shows. My favorite was Top Gun and the volleyball scene, but he also did a dancing like Elvis. He was a warrior in another one. Quite the accomplished actor.
So you grew up in the east side of Chicago.
Yeah.
Most of my family's from the east side of Chicago. We moved to Whiting, and they started in the restaurant business called Harmony Hamburgers.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
You remember
So-
that?
So I've probably been to Harmony's 1,000 times in my life. My mom ran a dry cleaners right at the corner of Avenue J and 106. Hi, Mom. Yeah.
Is Harmony still there?
Well, It's not Harmonies anymore.
It's something else,
something
yeah.
Yeah.
And they went to school, my cousins went to
I
school,
grew up
become
in there.
attorney with Dean Christakakis is their last name. And they came from Greece, opened up a Harmony Hamburgers in the east side of Chicago. That's
So,
my mom's side of the family.
so is this where Ace Catering?
Well, I'll tell you what, I learned a lot because they cooked right in front of you there.
Yeah.
So I would sit there as a kid, eat a Polish, burger, whatever, and watch how they're doing everything. I was observing.
So how'd you start the catering business? What were
Yeah,
you
tell
doing
us all
prior to
about it.
that?
So I had started in the casino business when I was 21 years old. And I just kind of wanted to be an entrepreneur and talked about it, but really didn't know how to get started. So I would talk to a lot of people that were in the casino business with me. Some of them had little businesses, things like that. So a couple of them, Misha and Jose were their names. They would always tell me, you talk about it, you got to do something.
Yeah.
And probably, any business owner you talk to,
Smart goals.
yeah, they'll tell you, you just got to do something. Start something. You might not have a lot of money, whatever. So I actually took a 401k loan, leased out a place, and you guys are going to catch this name here, but I leased out the kitchen in Portside Pub,
Oh,
which
wow.
that was recently, there was
Yeah,
just
the
that
Yes.
animal shooting. Yeah, that hurt.
But you're
Yeah.
where now?
So our main location, we
You're a
had
little
bought
loud,
So how long were you at that
but
Portside
in
Pub
your
building?
box, your box.
my box.
Yeah.
So Portside, we were here a couple of years, and the Elks in Whiting came to us.
I love, that's where I think I first met you at the Pierogi
So that's when
Fest.
it launched more to a banquet. So we did food for the bar, we delivered food, and we were doing catering. But when the Elks came to us, that was our first banquet space. And then not too long later, the American Legion in East Chicago, we took that over as our exclusive caterer. And then our big break was the Knights of Columbus in Lansing. So that was a banquet hall, restaurant, and lounge. And we were there for 16 years, up until the pandemic.
But now I see you pop up. Come to Gino, is it
Yeah.
Gino's in Portage,
So,
Hobart?
yeah,
Get
so
your sandwiches.
Gino's Steakhouse.
Sure do.
Yeah, so there was a group of them that had both Gino's, Dyer and Maryville, and they had a banquet hall in Hobart. Well, during the pandemic, I wasn't renewing my lease with the Lansing location, and I was just looking around, and I was friends with Jimmy. Everybody knows
I
Jimmy.
know them
right?
very well. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They have the
So-
best sausage and peppers.
Oh, I got the pepper recipe.
Ooh.
Bought the brand. So it goes way back to the original Gino's even. But so yeah, we purchased Gino's Banquets and moved our
Oh, really?
So we started in Whiting, moved to Lansing, and now our main location where we do all our catering and everything is Hobart
And
at Gino's Banquets.
And I just wanna commend you, so I talked to him to come, he's like, can my 15-year-old son come? I'm like, I would love it, I'm so glad to meet you, you look like a stellar kid, look at his teeth, did you have braces?
I did.
Oh gosh, tell us your name in a little bit and say hi to your friends out there.
My name is CAASH Kozinski, and
Cool.
I'm his son. And
Where do you go to high school?
I go to high school at North Newton.
What's your mascot?
We're the Spartans, the North Newton Spartans.
And what sports do you play?
I play football, basketball, and baseball. And yeah,
We say
Love it
if you
there.
keep them in something good, then they stay out of something bad.
Yeah.
So
Right?
thanks for.
Yeah, for sure.
So are you teaching
very good.
him? Is he learning? Do you
Oh,
love this stuff?
Yeah, he loves it.
Wow.
We were just out to dinner with my mom. What'd you say today?
that I don't really want to go to college in particular. I just want to take over Ace Catering someday.
Which is yeah. That's
Why
Now
not?
most parents would be like, "No, you got to go to college." I'm not a big believer.
not really.
I
It's a lot of,
so my older boy has a master's degree, and he went for what he wanted to do, and I encouraged him to do that. But I encourage you, if you want to be an entrepreneur or jump into family business, why go to college? Why not just
you can learn a lot.
Yeah.
I think you go for the experience. So I don't know if I use what I did, but that experience really made me, I think, successful in all the things I did. But a lot of people just go into the family. But if I kind of like mine to go and spread their wings a little and meet other people.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily get you a great job. Then you come back and you take that, what you learned, and then put it in the
My
family
entire
business.
family's in a restaurant business. I was too, for a long time. I used to own Sophia's here in Highland.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
What nationality are you?
Greek.
Of course.
Gee,
She's
what a
in the
surprise.
Restaurant business.
Greeks in the restaurant business, get out of here.
My
So-
girlfriend's part Greek. So,
Is she in the restaurant business too?
well,
What's her name? Let's say hi.
she
I
helps
told her to come too.
Rhonda.
Hey,
Yeah,
Rhonda.
she helps out a lot with the
Oh, of
business.
course.
So
I mean, you have to have a
what
whole
you said about
family.
college, I was going to college and they started to sell cars. Cause I didn't want to share a car with my twin brother, right? My dad was in the restaurant business, obviously,
Yeah.
and I was in there with him and dropped out of the restaurant business to go sell cars.
Yeah.
He was,
Well, my whole thing is I believe in letting people pursue what they
whatever
want
your
to do.
passion is.
Like my older son, he helps out big time with the business. He does a lot of office stuff, invoicing. And he also is, I think his title, what is it? Director of Marketing and Events
Yeah.
at Purdue University, has a master's degree. But he's not one to dive into the action, the
Yeah.
cooking, the festivals. He's more of an office guy.
Yeah, everybody's got their role.
And I support it. I support whatever he wants to do. If he, plays college sports, if he doesn't, if he comes
Keep
right
an
into the
open mind
business.
for a while.
I call him the future CEO though.
Hey.
That means he has to buy you a Corvette.
I think so.
He actually has his
Let him-
permit
Let
and
him
he drove
use it.
the Corvette all day.
I gotta tell you, that car caught my attention, like you wouldn't
He
believe.
calls, he's like, I saw the Ace guy. I'm like,
I
probably.
said, I know I did, you should see this car. That's what I said.
So how did you come up
Yeah,
with
we did
that
it up
name?
a little bit. Ace.
Yeah.
So we started off as Portside Grill and Pizzeria.
Oh.
We were small, and when we got into the catering and banquets and decided we actually got rid of Portside when we got our third banquet hall location, and just decided to go into more so banquets and catering. Although our third location did have a restaurant that was called Casey's, like Kaceys, that we operated for 16 years. But the way we came up with Ace, I was in the casino business. So I started this business and I was a pit boss at the Horseshoe for 5 years.
And you
I
gave
did both.
everybody an ace with their jack, so you got a 20.
Well, yeah, and it was actually, I originally did have a partner, and I was like, well, we can't keep calling this Portside, we're not even in Portside
Yeah.
Pub anymore. Well, we
Yeah.
called it Portside Grill and Pizzeria. So he was like, I'm like, back then, advertising, there was none of this
I
stuff.
know.
So
Yeah, you're right.
it was all phone books and stuff. So I said, I want to be at the beginning of the yellow
So
page.
you're a smart guy.
When somebody looks up catering, I want to be first. Like AAA Toe, places like
Yeah,
that.
right.
So he's like, how about Ace? He's like, it goes with you. You're in the casino business. It's first in line. It sounds cool. And I was like,
That's creative.
So besides food, you're gonna tell us before you head out what you got upstairs, but besides food, I watched this guy and I live vicariously, he was just in Florida, like, what, you guys have a great family vibe.
So when you're in Florida, you must have a whole crew that handles absolutely everything.
yeah, we do. We have an amazing crew. I just got my guy Vinny back. He was with me, let's see. He probably came with me from like 05 to about 17 or
nice.
18. He went to culinary school, and I'm good friends with the family, his dad. He just came back, but we do have an amazing crew.
Now,
So
who do you
we've
cater
got
to?
one more minute.
Banquet halls, right?
He's got a
Private
big event
parties?
coming, I wanted to mention that before he goes
Yeah,
out.
we do at Cloister in the Woods in Munster. So
Okay, I know about that.
yeah, so like
Can
we
we
have like a
go?
lease agreement in there. We have an
Easter.
Easter brunch coming up
Let's go
from like
Easter.
10 to 4. We recommend reservations. Last year we had about 500 people. We have a huge spread, amazing.
Wow.
It's like $35. It's a
Cloister
great
the
deal.
Woods in Munster holds 500 people?
Well,
They
throughout
come
the day it does.
through.
My
Yeah.
God, I didn't realize that big. I know exactly
Yeah.
what it's at.
So what's in the oven upstairs?
So we got, well,
Tell us,
we kind of
Cash.
had to do the old school CBS kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that, what's CBS?
What do we got? Well,
Beef
Let-
chicken-
let-
you know
let
what's
Cash
chicken
do it.
possibility?
Not
Well, kinda
the
figured out.
TV. The TV.
C starts for what food up there?
so Chicago, right?
Chicken.
You know what it is,
Yeah,
right?
it's beef
Chicken,
chicken mozzarella.
See,
beef.
yeah, chicken beef
Sausage.
sausage. Well,
Yeah,
we don't have sausage, but we got masticholi.
That's
So
what-
that's what
that's
you
what
can
CBS
replace
is,
it
yeah.
with.
That
So we
way.
got chicken beef masticholi.
How do people get a
We
hold
got
of you
some pasta
before
salad.
you head out here?
Our website is aceace.org, or we have genosbanquets.com. My number is 219-588-1800. It's easy to remember, almost like Empire.
Yeah,
Oh, say it again. Sing it.
588-588.
remember that? Empire, remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so.
Jeff taught me how to sing in the beautiful musical. I was
Yeah.
Marilyn, not Marilyn Monroe.
That's
Anything
interesting.
else?
I didn't know
Anything else
that.
for him
Now,
before
were
he
you
heads out?
involved with Jared Demas's at all when they had the Paragon?
No, so basically, they kind of split up.
Right,
You know,
right.
and Jimmy and Chris were running the two of them. They just kind of wanted to get rid of the banquet hall. And it was perfect timing because I just wasn't getting a renewed contract, and the pandemic happened, and it was Illinois. So it fell into my lap at perfect time.
Their sister Angela was involved with the banquets, right, or no?
Yeah,
Right
I
to
think they all used to help out. I inherited a couple of their staff that I still have, but Gino's Banquets in Holbrook. We could seat 500 comfortably at tables. It splits into 3 different units. It's a beautiful, beautiful banquet hall.
And you post,
One
and
nice.
it's very nice,
Yeah.
and we share, and, how long have you been doing this?
We just hit 25 years, January
Wow.
6th.
So when's the
26th.
party?
Wow.
Well,
It's here.
we're gonna do one at the end of this year, so we
Oh,
complete the
nice.
25.
Come back on then.
One more thing that was really cool are you guys familiar with NWI Business Magazine?
Yes, I was just in that.
Well,
With,
we were
Lauren.
just rated, and I had no idea. We got an email one day. We were rated best caterer in Northwest Indiana.
That wasn't
Really?
with
That's
the
awesome.
Times?
That wasn't from
the
the
Times?
It has to be.
I think
Okay.
it was the Times.
People voted for you then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But they're
Well,
all
I posted
related.
on
That's awesome.
Facebook. No, it's great because I mean, when people say, I think it's like to survive in this business 25 years is only 8.5% chance.
Yeah.
So
You must be
25
doing
years,
something
it has a
right.
lot to say. We're even tell them about our
You got like 10 seconds here.
10 seconds. What's coming up? What's coming up?
High Rollers Catering and Events.
So, because I'm a South Chicago guy and CBS kind of guy, nobody knows me as real high end, but we could do really good high end stuff.
Like what kind of stuff?
So we're launching just super high end appetizers, food,
Caviar.
more like
Got it.
Bacon
lobster
wraps.
steaks,
Ooh.
all that stuff.
Champagne?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have you for the
So
next
CAASH
party.
came up with the name High Rollers,
Nice.
So now you get a
Catering
percentage of the
events.
take,
I
right?
think I should.
I think you should too.
but our
So-
corporation is even Three Aces.
Oh,
Three
very
Aces
nice.
Catering, and that's me and my 2 boys. The Three Aces.
Love you.
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't wait for the food, so we're gonna have you hop off.
All right. Well,
We're
thank you
gonna finish
guys.
up for a couple.
It was a
Oh,
pleasure.
I've been doing this because I gave people a
Hey, it was
bad
nice
sore
meeting you.
throat
And I've
last
been
year.
talking about your
Awesome.
car ever since I saw it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll whip it around the neighborhood here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
Hang
guys.
on, hang on, don't go anywhere, because we're gonna meet you
Yep.
upstairs in like 10 minutes. And Jeff's gonna sing us off at the end of the show instead of our music. Perfect. You have a mic on still, okay, very good. We're gonna finish off with events. I also post events on our Good Day NWI page, that you can review. I was just making sure you were on the camera there, but, which one of these is,
Well, the Cash for Charity raffle. The raffle is in October, I think is what it is.
I got a ticket.
Yeah, and it's to win this pretty elaborate go-kart.
Golf
Like
cart.
golf cart, go-kart, it's really
Wow.
elaborate. And it's the biggest fundraiser they've ever done.
They're selling
Ever.
gummies right now. I told them to
Yeah,
come
for
and sell
Easter.
us. And
Yeah.
I think the bunny was up there, but I also would like him to help us with the raffle for getting the Zamboni for the cleaning, but, also this was like my first alcohol awareness month. I would say alcoholism prevention month. That's what I would like it to be.
It's this month for April?
Alcoholism prevention month, that's what I'd like it, because I think Whiting also has a crime watch, I'm like, crime prevention meeting. Yeah, so I think some people that you have, you're genetically built certain ways, you have a predisposition, and it just,
You do.
it like,
You're right.
just clicks onto that chromosome, and you can't, it's very hard.
You
So
can't
I don't
help it.
even drink because of the problems in the family. You don't drink either, do
No.
you? Yeah, it's just easier just to stay away. And I thought, if I'm making decisions like that, we all have to be mature and get along, everybody should be doing that. We shouldn't have to tolerate nonsense. I'm getting feedback from somewhere. I don't know if somebody's phone is on.
There's no feedback.
I can hear it. I don't know. I must have ears like what's my little dog called? Chihuahua. Somebody's phone is on. You can turn it down. Do you not hear that?
No.
Okay. Okay. Might be upstairs TV anyway. Okay, I mentioned all those meetings coming up. Oh, I actually did a lot. Oh, Rockology messaged me. They're back on the road with a new lead singer. That's Mike Major. And he was, I think, in Hobart. So that, do you remember, they called in one
I
weekend.
remember, yeah, I remember
Right,
that.
right,
Yeah.
right. So they're, and we also try to promote the bands in the region, and they've had the most success being on here, and then they've just been, every weekend I can see they're all booked. So if you want to be on with anything that you wanna promote, then, just let us know and we can get you set up. Oh, these are three, and I talked about this when I put my, my phone on. Jordan Peterson, the psychologist out of Canada, is in town. He's gonna be at the, do you know where? Rosemont Theater. That's Wednesday night. If anybody would like to go, please let me know. I can't let anybody go. But he says such poignant information. And I was just trying to think of one of the great things that he has said. Oh, happy? Happy? It's a pretty low goal. Because there's gonna be plenty of times you're not happy in your life, and it's gotta really be purpose. I want to reiterate that because everybody thinks
So
they
he's
need
at
to
the
be happy.
Rosemont on Thursday, so I would
Wednesday.
think. Wednesday, I would think that you just can't show up, you have to buy tickets. to go.
Yes,
Positive
yeah,
of it.
get tickets.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, there's a duel. World Civility Day is at the Avalon, as well as the free event,
Avalon Banquet Center in Maryville, right
Yeah.
on 30.
Genesis, I think it's a social service organization, and they're gonna be there as well. So I guess there's a few different events going on that night. Chuck, I mentioned he's out of town. I'm like, I guess I'll be back by then, but World Civility Day, it's just promoting people to be civil to each other. Even though we have.
Takes more
issues.
than one day, let me tell you.
We can still, I struggle with that, like after a while, like I'll talk about it nicely for like a couple of months, and then when you're still, and I feel like, cause I'm the parent, it's mostly in the parent realm or the wife realm that I was following biblical principles, and I'm like, Jesus got mad too, and I'm like, I've had it, and you need to listen. Now, sometimes they don't listen until like I get to that point, and it's unfortunate. So they're like, if you would just be better, and I'm like, I've been better. So I think you need to be better now. So.
And it's all that, no offense, kids in their 20s,
Oh, do you think it's part of?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Part of their age.
Here, I-
and
here,
the
I-
end of the we're at 2025.
I have the same thing where I work, okay? We have a lot of 25-year-olds that work there. They know everything, just ask them. Just ask them, they'll tell you, they know everything. I've been in the car business for 40 years. I can teach them a lot and guide them, but they know better. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a generational thing. It is.
Probably that, and it's probably
Sure
your
it is.
business, and because
Well-
you have to be like kind of a go-getter in your business, like the B-type
Yeah.
personality is probably
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I can learn
That's not
something.
gonna work, right.
And I've tried that for a long time too, and I'm like, I'm pretty old, so I've got a lot of
No, you're right, the
experience.
B-type,
Could
you're
you
right.
listen to me a little bit, and then I'll listen to you, but then, you know, the win-win, is, you know, not compromise, but win-win is the highest form. That is a 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That is by
Stephen
Stephen
Covey.
Covey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot back there, so if they wouldn't mind, it distracts me. I just got good ears. I can't help it, Pete. Bad eyes. And you know what we'd like for you guys to think about is impact winner. Jeff, do you know anybody doing great things that isn't really recognized? Or Judy, or Ray, or Cash? Anybody that you know that is doing great things that isn't really recognized? We like to do an impact winner every show.
I'll get back to you.
Okay, yeah, get back to us. But we usually like our guests to, we know folks, but we like the guests to, people in the churches, people volunteering, people, even moms and dads, they don't always get a lot of credit. I was just thinking, I run into a lot of people that are very helpful.
Especially now, next Sunday's Palm Sunday, right, then it's Easter. So I'm sure
Right.
there's people helping and doing different things because it's a holiday, but they shouldn't wait just for the holiday.
There's
Right.
people who do things year round, and I'm just gonna say, I think parents really do a tremendous amount. And I don't know, like you said, I don't know, when do you get it that your parents did so much for you? When you're a parent?
Yeah,
I don't know, I've always been, I've
Yeah.
always seemed to think
yeah,
that.
because kids think their parents, oh, they're dumb, they don't know what they're talking about. And then when they become parents, like you said, it'll be a flashback up here and say, wait a minute, I remember, now I know why they
So
said
when
that.
my kids call me up, I'm like, do you remember that? Do you remember when I told you that? So you need my help now? Okay, but I think sometimes we have we say things, but then our heart is soft, and they're like, well, we can do this, and she's still gonna, take care of us and love us, which I probably will, but that doesn't give you the
The right?
privilege to take advantage of us,
All
So, anywho,
I've got one of those,
so we've got, Palm Sunday, we've got Good Friday coming.
then Palm Sunday, and, right,
Okay, and then Easter is the following week, so,
Yeah.
I always remember, I must maybe dig my trumpet back out. Oh, what is that? Now I know I have my Redeemer live. Is it that one? I know that my Redeemer lives? No, I did Joy to the World for Christmas, and maybe I know that my Redeemer lives for Easter. Yeah, on the trumpet, so I have to dig that back out.
You gotta hear that, right?
Anything else
If
before
not,
we
let's go
sign
buy a
out?
trumpet, we've gotta hear this.
My dogs howl.
I'll get one on Amazon.
I can get one song out, and it just like muscles in your body, your lips also have to
Really?
practice. Yes, in your voice. Yeah. Anything else from anybody before we sign off?
No, we're good.
Okay.
That's
So
it.
I always say have a spectacular week because of the vision quest, and cover your cups because of the fentanyl, and cover yourselves to be strong and independent, and don't always listen to somebody telling you what to do.
Yeah, right?
I try to get along, but when somebody's like, oh, we have candy, that old thing when you were little, we have candy. If they have, I don't know, food, drinks, and lots of money, still don't go with them.
You never know.
Yes. And what's your thing?
Take care of yourself and each other.
And our announcer usually says, God bless.
God bless you.
Yes. And now go ahead and sing your song for us, Jeff.
You want me to come up?
Sure.
Happy Easter, and Bill Gaither wrote a song. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds the future, and life is worth the living just because he lives.
Thank you so much.
Very
Cash,
nice.
can you push the music on?
Very nice.
You gotta be fast, Cash. Gotta be fast.
That cowboy boots.
I didn't tell him that he needed to do that, but we like our music at the end too. Cash.
Until next Sunday.